talk. This pneumonia is I mean, sometimes you wonder what you have to talk about. It's not a common thing and easy. Even my mother can diagnose pneumonia. She tells you that. I think this child is suffering from pneumonia. And a lot of old ladies will come to you and say, I think this child is suffering from pneumonia. But that's not an excuse to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Why not? Now that we've been told to come here. It's a common clinical infection. Why do you talk about it? Because it's a common cause of antibiotics use and above all abuse. And it's the one that causes the highest resistance to antibiotics. But it still carries a lot of morbidity and mortality. And a lot of patients go into the internet and come to you, tell you what antibiotics they use. Many patients just go to the chemist and say, I think I'm having a bit of pneumonia, just give me augmentin. The last time I went to Dr. Wanjiku, this is what it gives. Every time I have pneumonia, this is what she gives me, and it works, so just give that. So there's a lot of, sometimes they go to the internet to find out the latest, and they often, but two types of pneumonias. All of us familiar with nosocomial, which is found within healthcare setting, and the community acquired, which is probably the commonest. And the pathogenesis, as you learned in the medical school, has not changed throughout the year. And the risk factors are equally the same, obesity and, I don't belong in on those classes. Okay. And the problem is we still have to do a lot of tests for pneumonia. And the problem is we do so many tests. Classical, it's much easier to do a simple examination in pneumonia, as you can see. The US statistics show that it's still a problem in the US with a lot of cases, 5 million annually with a lot of death and mortality and causing a lot of hospitalization. In more than half the cases, you don't be able to identify the organism. And it's probably 2 to 5% of cases, you may be able to identify more than one organism. However, we know the commonest causing organism is still pneumonia. If I went, that's where it comes, pneumococci. That's where it derives its name from. And then the rest from small percent. The next, we used to call them atypical pneumonia. That is chlamydia, legionella, mycoplasma, when we didn't know at the time. But then we wondered, what do you mean by typical and atypical? Pneumonia is pneumonia, so we removed the word atypical pneumonia. Now we're going to talk about specific pneumonia according to the organism. Some of these organisms give you very severe type of clinical situation. Others, as I said before, those are components that everybody knows, including my grandfather. And clinical symptoms, I don't need to tell you that. But this is more severe, often in comorbidity, particularly immunocompromised hosts, and results in a lot of severe lung damage. Sometimes may give you a picture of TB, and a lot of patients may end up in ICU because of this severe infection. Some of this I don't know why they say that being unemployed makes you like to receive get pneumonia. Does anyone know the reason why? Because a lot of you are unemployed, but I don't think you have pneumonia. But I know all the others are so obvious. Okay. And this risk factor, of course, is important. Age 65. And yours truly is in that bracket, and bacteremia is more common when you have got at this age of 65, and particularly you go to immunosuppression, and if you take alcohol, and you seem to have all of those, some candidates for very severe pneumonia. Now, examination of diagnosis of pneumonia, basic clinical. Now, history is important. The next thing is physical examination. This is when life has changed. When you were a student, and Mohammed Abdullah remember him, it was very nice to percuss chairs with constellation and delineate exactly where the constellation is. And you don't even be before the X-ray. All right. And so this is lobar pneumonia, or this is two lobar pneumonia. And it was very, very gratifying for your senior to be diagnosed. But unfortunately nowadays, I'm sorry to say, but most physicians can't make percussive chest. And And also the training background also is completely spoiled it. Because most of the patients you see in the major hospital like Kenyatta or Moi are patients who have been dumped there from an institution after being messed up by the GP, by the other hospital, private hospital, and then they bring them there where they are no longer, all the signs have been distorted, they've given several antibiotics, and then everything else. So your learning is very poor specimen. And I'm sure Dr. Boma knows that because he sees it there. Some of the patients in the roads, when they can no longer pay, that's when they take it there. But I remember at the early days in medical school, when a patient came from the Jacob care, it was fresh. Nobody else had messed it up. So you get your clinical sign as it should be. That's why when I was asked one that you talk about the curriculum, I suggested that there should be 50% of learning clinical medicine in Kenyatta, the rest should be doing in the periphery. Even if it means in Kiambu, in Nyeri, or not even in Nyeri, smaller hospital, this hospital, you get fresher cases for learning, but not in Kenyatta. What you get in Kenyatta is something, they come with the x-rays, and then they come with the diagnosis. So you don't have any, as a student, you just don't clerk a patient. The first thing you say, where's the referral letter? So you're not even learning anything. That's the first thing. So a lot of medical students, and there is some concerners don't know anything about PE, physical examination. Okay? Okay, X-ray is very good. That one I also checked. When we were student, X-ray was a very special examination. After you've done all the tests, then the X-ray patient go for X-ray. But now, for example, chest specialist, chest X-ray is part of physical examination. It's not a special investigation. In fact, in most clinics, by the time a patient is brought to you for a chest evaluation, you should come with chest X-ray. Automatically, if you've got sufficient evidence that he needs it, can be done by the trial when you see the X-ray. It's no longer part of physical examination. But still, you can look at it. Most of the time there will be no infiltrate. Doesn't mean there's no pneumonia. It just means you cannot see the X-ray. Okay, but in most cases there is some infiltrate with evidence of pneumonia. Now, infiltrate in this time, for example, HIV, you're obviously tired. Sorry about that. In this age of HIV, there's a lot of misdiagnosis of X-ray shadows. And you see, the radiologists are not very good in helping the physician. They say shadows rule out TB. Okay? Now the good physician who doesn't know how to take history has not been asked that special that have you been treated? It's an HIV patient. Have you been treated for TB? He never bothered to ask him. He just saw the X-ray film. X-ray look thin looking. Patient has been taken for treated for TB. Of course, the X-ray is not clear. Maybe forever or for a long time. So he says, sputum for examination. And then, because he's just been told about gene X-ray, he sends the patient for gene X-ray. Okay? But you know very well that a patient will be treated for TB, you don't ask for gene experts. You do know that. You ask for good old Patron, Patron, culture. So you waste a lot of time and money because you do not take a good history. Some of the patients have been treated with TB, they may not tell you. The good physician may say, okay, sputum gene X-ray negative, let's give you TB and TB trial. So you find a lot of patients over-treated because of abnormal X-ray infiltrate, because nobody has taken history. So you have to get all this history correct. Do your examination and assessment whether you're treating outpatient. Most of them will need outpatient treatment. A few may need admission, and very few may need an intensive care unit. The national use of guidelines are the same all over the world. These are standard guidelines. You must have rational use of microbiology laboratory. Or we know very well that fortunately, no cases advanced, but one and then you can get some positive results. And then you can do so-called pathogen antimicrobial therapy, wherever possible. I'm sure Dr. Monge will talk about that one is antibiotic stewardship. But you should start your antibiotic immediately, as soon as possible. Decide whether you apply. The guidelines are changing over the years, like everything else in life. So you have to agree with the local guideline how to change, okay? The CARB 65 rule is very important. That's anybody over 65, you should use the rule. Check for urea, and check for the BP, respiratory rate, and that is enough. 5 points is enough to classify. If there's none of those 5 points present or only one, you just send him home for treatment. If 2 of those of 5 are present, you can begin with short hospital stay observation. And if 3 are present, you suddenly need admission. If 4 or 5 are present, you may need ICU care, okay? But the value of X-ray, as I said earlier, is only needed to establish diagnosis. It serves as a prognostic indicator. Once you show you're dealing with pneumonia and not other disorders, okay? And quite often, ICU treatment, most of you will be familiar with the basic treatment. Gram-sense sputum is done routinely, but you must know the predictive value, whether it's negative or positive, varies whether it's pneumonia or influenza. So is the specificity. But obviously, with pneumonia, the positive value is higher, while in influenza, the negative predictive value is much higher. Okay? But a good sputum is not often obtained in most of these patients. Can also do blood culture, which will be able to isolate some of these organisms. The mortality based on the type of organism is indicated there. Highest, of course, with the Pseudomonas, Staph aureus, and Ordinary pneumonia, Legionnaire, which you don't see a lot of them here. Klebsiella, of course, the common pneumonia, fortunately, does have high mortality at the bottom. So what is the traditional treatment paradigm? Okay, most people start with so-called workhorse antibiotic, and for most doctors, it's augmenting. And if the patients know augmenting for any infection, whether it's a sore throat or pneumonia, so you give me, I always go to the doctor, give me this augmenting for this sore throat or this pneumonia, so give it to you. And then later on, there is some this more potent drugs for non-responders. But that was then, but now we shifted paradigm. You hit hard and hit early. Start with the right appropriate antibiotic, and then have a short duration, and where possible you can de-escalate. But we see several data have shown clearly that if you start with a weak antibiotic, the so-called workhorse, and then wait for the laboratory reports before you, or poor response before you change to a strong antibiotic, the mortality will be very high as stream. And even within hours. In fact, he said that each hour of delay with antibiotics increases mortality by 7.6, or as soon as you carry the mortality by 7.6% for only 1 hour delay. So it's important that you start the right antibiotic and start early. Always have risk appointment for complication and have your selection of antibiotic early. And the change of treatment is driven by local surveillance. And local doesn't really mean local. It doesn't mean just Kenya, Uganda, or Kenya, or Eldoret. It means your hospital. So you should do your surveillance. And even within each hospital, the resistance pattern will vary from theater to ICU to general wards. So you must have your own antibiotic storage committee to assess the local resistance. Then also resistance varies from hospital to hospital, and of course from region to region. And you must be very familiar with this. The duration should be as short as possible. Start hit that early, and not much more than 7 days, even if the patient is in the ward. Now what happens, you see a lot of patients in the ward. Like Dr. Kyoko's my senior, starting on IV something like Zinacel, and then he comes to the patient and says, "Hi, sitting all fine, continue." 10th day is coming, everything's fine, all right, continue. He's been having 10 days of IV until the nurse asked him, by the way, doctor, is it not time to change this antibiotic? They just don't think about it, continue. The worst is ICU, okay, where they do everything the same way, and they say, they don't choose wisely because there is some routine that you do X-ray every day. You take blood every day for HB. You take today, tomorrow HB is falling. You say, oh, let's check why this HB is falling. You take another blood, still blood, let's take another blood. You don't realize you're the one making the patient give you take blood every day. So a lot of tests are also being done. Where possible, you can reduce your. There are several antibiotics available, and American guidelines prefer macrolides. European prefer respiratory quinolones. Other alternatives are available. Okay, but empiric treatment in patients in ICU, a lot of them prefer fluoroquinolone. Outside ICU. In ICU, you may have to use the higher beta-lactam or other cases, depending on the organism. And Pseudomonas still is a global problem treating at the moment. And MRSA is also limited selection. And now I know MRSA originally was mainly in the hospital, but now we have got even community-acquired MSA and even MRSA community-acquired, particularly in the US, okay? As I said earlier, duration of chemotherapy should be about 5 days for most pneumonias. We can change within 48 7 and the patient should be a febrile. If there's any complication, you may give it longer, but no more than 10 days, okay? And if these are some of the patients can use drugs switching from IV, and it's again, there's very little reason to give IV even in ICU, outside ICU for more than 2 days. And as I say again, you find Dr. Ngugi has IV, whatever it is, invites today, and she forgets for the next 1 week to change to oral. And that's why the number of the tissues are now clearly indicated. You write IV or any medicine antibiotic, you write the duration. Because many people never bother to check. So if you don't write the duration, a good system will remind you, doctor. A bad one will not remind you. And you being a bad doctor, you probably give it for 10 days until somebody comes by and asks you. But now if you've got some sneaking doctors who go checking the tissues and telling you they are antibiotic specialists, they keep going around, then they give you a call, why this patient is antibiotic? I say because I needed to give you. But you can change and I say if oral picture is good, you can change to IV. There are always correspondent like everything else. Then you can consider what is the other possible cause. Consider less pathogen. Even TB, doctor, you can do broad antibiotics, do serology, and of course may do. But you don't forget one thing, that in pneumonia, even prevention is also better than cure. And hand washing, and particularly doctor working with their ties hanging all over the wards and everything else. And doctors are very bad at washing their hands unless they're reminded by the house sheets. And so you come from one patient to another with their tie. And so you examine the patient with their stethoscope, the tie is flying all over the patient's chest and everything else, or the blanket, and then you go to the next patient and do the same. So thank you very much for not hand washing. Okay, we also have vaccination, which most people don't realize that after the age of 65, with or without comorbid condition, you should give patient pneumonia vaccination. Now you go to two types: the pneumonia, which is given once for life, or can you have the pneumonia, the polyvalent. Then you have the pneumo 23, which you may have to repeat after 23 years. But it's recommended in comorbid condition at all ages and all people over 65. And that will also cause. Now, let me just mention one or two things about the frequent use of fluoroquinolone. The survey has been concerned about the use of fluoroquinolone in cases where there is high endemic TB. Because as you know, fluoroquinolones have not been established as effective in treatment of TB, and particularly they can be used reducing the duration of anti-TB treatment. But above all, they've also been used in treatment of drug-resistant TB. So we like to preserve it for that. It's not very good for the pharmaceutical. They don't give them very much money, because if you only wait for anti-TB treatment with the fluoroquinolone, they're not going to use the mass production of their product. So they don't like hearing much about this, but you must say it. But it should be, well, you know, a lot of trials have shown clearly that it does not affect either the effectiveness of eating use of TB or increase the possible resistance of TB to the fluoroquinolone. So a lot of drugs, a lot of issues. It does not mask TB. But I recommend that whenever you see a murky chest with a possibility of TB, please do not start fluoroquinolone. Use the other antibiotics until you prove that they are not TB. It is just possible that in a few cases that you may mask it, because if it is possible TB and you give them fluoroquinolone, they will have anti-TB effect and may mask the early diagnosis of TB, or delay the diagnosis of TB, or even lead the resistant development of MTB. So but evidence suggests that the use of fluoroquinolone as recommended for 5 to 8 days does not affect the clinical guideline as far as TB is concerned. So how best do we in this war in pneumonia? Okay, in short, early antibiotic administration within 4 to 6 hours of diagnosing the case, and empiric use as per the major guidelines, IDS and ATS, and using the classification, that's in pneumonia, or a research team, or pneumonia's severity index, which should be early hospitalization where the cases, change antibiotic when you go to Patron, and as they said, decrease smoking, as Dr. Lagarde said clearly, when it's found about the smoke, and when possible do blood culture, and do. Okay. In conclusion, antibiotics are frequently given for ITI. A lot of it is interpreted also. Pneumonia is often misdiagnosed, and most UITI are viral and not bacteria. You need observation without antibiotics an option for children with acute otitis. Guidance exists for improvement of all these respiratory instructions everywhere. Finally, we are not done yet. There are several infections in the pipeline antibiotics. They go to the family which is same as the pleuromotive. There's omalicycline, a derivative of minocycline, some of you will be familiar with. The fluoxetine, which are novel of fluoroquinolone. The erythromycin, a 4th generation of macrolide. Limoxacin, non-fluoridated fluoroquinolone, and cetarolin, a derivative of cefalothin. One of these days, we shall see all these in clinical. Then the gospel according to St. Aluoch. Thank you.